Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another second visit this week to GKP Live Pond Talk. How you doing, Daz? How you going, mate?
Right,
good?
Yeah, not bad.
Right, guys, usual thing. Well, I'm very well, thank you. Can't complain. Usual thing. Yes, I got in there just in the nick of time, Daz, before the sound started playing back. Usual thing, guys. We'll be right back after this. At the back. Yeah, she is. This would have, if I were going to pick this show, there you go, guys. I would have picked that one. Still got a lot more up to come. Nice pattern, nice separation. Look at that, beautiful fish. And again, check this out, guys. This is something else. That is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Yeah. Nice wild common trout coming up for a piece of bread. Perfect. Let's have a look at his koi facility again and look at this full cherry blossom. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get from the other side so we've got the sun behind us so that you can see this, but this is absolutely stunning. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Without further ado, I'll get us inside, have a look round, just let you see what you think. Catches in it. In this whole complex, the fish is stunning. Absolutely beautiful. One bat after another, really nice with jacket there. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks very much for everybody for joining us and all those that have stuck with us this evening. Very much appreciated, and thank you for everybody who came to watch last night with the Twisted Ones Grown Show. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was good, wasn't it, mate? I enjoyed it. To be fair, there was some lovely fish. I did. I do think Vince was very happy with it, and so was Ricky, which is always a bonus. That's the main thing, as long as, and obviously the people that got the fish, that's the main thing. That's what it were about, helping the community. And the reason for doing it more than anything, guys, was to help Vince out where he needed it. And to, like I've said, what we want to do is grow a community. What we are doing, and what we have said on numerous occasions, we are all available. We're always there, and we're always there for a chat. We are there Monday to Friday, Saturday and Sunday, nearly every day of the week. There is always someone on the Discord channel. There's always someone there to have a natter. So if anybody does want to come and join us, all you need to do is, as we've said before, go to my community channel or go to my home channel, either on Facebook or on YouTube, and you will find a little link for the Discord. Click on that link, install Discord. It's relatively simple. Even a gentleman called Alan T managed to work his way through it. And that gentleman, I think, is in his 70s. If he can master it, I think anyone of you can. It was lovely to listen to him and have a good chat with him the other night. Really nice, wasn't it? Got a bit of a good natter with a bit of somebody else. And he did kind of, I won't so much say dominate the chat, but more influence the chat. And it was lovely to listen to somebody that's been keeping koi for a long, long time. Yeah. Talking about things such as the place where it used to be my local koi facility, which is now shut down. He used to knock around there, and he used to be back and down there when I was no more than a little bairn. So knowing that he's doing there, in and out, Yeah, it was really cool to listen to his stories. So there's always that kind of a chat. Oh, there's just general, general banter, general talk, general chatting, odd time people in there gaming, having a laugh. If anybody wants to come and join us for a bit of gaming, feel free. We're always there. Now then, Daz, we have an empty studio for one. So if anybody wants to come in, whether you be a member of public or whether you be a YouTuber, if you want to come in and have a chat with us, and I'm not going to say, it's open to everyone, but I'm not going to keep having the same regular guests on week in, week out. I want to open it out to everybody. So if you are a YouTuber or you are a member of public and you want to come and stick your face on here and have a chat with us, feel free. I will put the link in above. If anybody wants to and anybody's interested, feel free to let me know and we shall make it so. We have a good few questions this evening, Daz. And First of all, before we get into those questions, thank you to one person who suggested the method, because it really is working. Thank you very much, Busy. It was a very good idea, and it does give us some regular topics to talk about. Saying that, big thank you and a big hi to all the moderators that are in the back doing what they're doing week in, week out. I appreciate your help, guys. It's very much appreciated. Yeah. So, what's been happening this week, Daz? As you can tell, I've been in a fight with the barbers.
Yeah, I've got to go. Yeah, it's getting a bit out of control.
I'll tell you what, Daz. Yesterday and today, where I was thinking, God damn, that wind's unreal. Yeah. I was thinking, God, it's a bit fresh up back in my head.
That's why I'm hanging on to mine a bit longer. Wait for it to warm up that a bit more.
I think I should have done else. I'll ask him to us, you're mad. You've gone straight to skin. You look bald. All right. It's not the fact that I look bald, mate. That's number 0. And because my hair's that fucking grey, it does look like I've got no hair. But there is hair there. It's just, as some keep saying, the silver fox.
Yeah.
But Daz, we're a pair matching. Look, we're both been through a grey rinse, don't we?
We've had a stressful life. That's what it is.
That's what it is, mate. Yeah, it's carrying all those others. That's what's done it.
Yeah.
All these years. Right, we'll get into his first little comment and his first little question. And it comes from Jigs Mountain View Koi Pond. I think people who are getting into the hobby are getting put off by the cost of equipment, but need to understand that simple methods still work and it doesn't have to be expensive. What's your thoughts on that, Daz? What do you reckon?
Well, I mean, it's easy to fall into the trap. You go to a nice, big, fancy koi store, and they've got drum filters, big, expensive-looking fish, and you think that's what I've got to have to keep those fish and to have a pond that's effective. And it's not that at all. I mean, you go right back to basics, and the old multi-bay filters. There's nothing wrong with them. They work perfectly well.
People still running them, isn't there? A heck of a lot.
It's just that people,
a lot of big YouTubers still running them and having a lot of success, and we've got some pretty damn big fish in the ponds. So they work, don't
they? They do. But I mean, I can understand if people haven't got the time and they've got the money for a drum filter, then fine. But if you've got the time, I mean, if you haven't got the time, what are you doing getting into koi?
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's for me, Daz. I think that's one of the main things, the main part of that subject. If you're getting into koi, I can see you again. If you're getting into koi, then to me, starting with the basics is one of the best places to start.
Yeah,
because that way you get to understand, you get to work out how a filter works, what does work, what doesn't work, what your fish need and what your fish require. I think if you go straight out there and you buy the biggest, best, fanciest stuff that's out there, when you come across a problem, you ain't got a clue, because you haven't learned the basics because you've took a deep jump or a big dive into the deep end. Yeah, and I think that in itself can be costly, damaging to the fish, and too risky. I think if you start small, I mean, everybody says, build a pond, but go as big as you want. And for me, personally, I don't agree with that. I think if you start small, like I did, yes, I got a little mini pond. I wanted a water feature. And then obviously I had a couple of goldfish in there. That was it. Just a few goldfish. And it was really for my daughters that had outgrown a tank. And then I thought, well, stick a couple of koi in there. What difference will 3 koi make?
That's how it starts.
And that's how it started. It was pretty much how it started. But I'd always kept fishing, had some kind of koi. My dad's. I used to have my own fish. In fact, the vast majority of them, some of them are still there. There's goldfish in my dad's front garden pond from when my daughter and my sons were little, 3 and 4 year olds. Then free fish, fish and chips, and another one that had like lipstick on, which were Arbethans. And then free fish are still in there, still in my dad's pond now. And that's, some 20 odd years later. So they're doing, well, no, maybe 15, 16, 17 years later-ish. And they're still doing well. But when we decided we were going to have ours outside, we started off with something small. It was, don't tell the wife, but it was my intention. I knew these fish were going to grow, but I didn't expect them to grow quite as quick as they did. It was a case of, right, now we need a bigger pond. And I went out and I bought a liner so that I could do the basics. As Mountain View says, it don't need to be expensive.
No.
Filter system, which I made myself, which we're going to touch on that later on because that's somebody else's question as well. I bought a cheap system, one that was capable of putting those fish that have grown from, these little tiny little fingerlings, which had grown from that to this sort of size in the space of a matter of months. But me having the patience to go through, clean the filters, look after them, maintain them, check them over, and think, right, if you can keep water quality like that in a small environment with a small filter system and keep it cock on, then when you upgrade to a bigger filter system and a bigger pond, then those fish that you move into there have got a lot more, and you learn a lot more throughout the process, I think, personally, anyway. But you can start off small, get what you want.
I think it's important to follow that process and start from the beginning and learn your way through. If you skip all that process, like you say, when things go wrong, you don't know where to start. And I mean, it's like the big pond as well, and putting in small fish in a big pond. Do they grow as well as putting small fish in a smaller pond and letting them sort of like grow to their environment? I mean, anyone that knows anything about plants will know that if you put a small seedling in a big pot of compost, it does miserable. You've got to put it in a pot that's the right size, let it outgrow that pot, then pot it onto another one. And that's how you get the best growth out of a plant. Now, I've tried putting small fish in a big pond, and it seems to stay small. You would think all that water, wow, they're going to grow really fast. No.
Well,
Not
I
my experience.
think when you're talking small,
well,
like
I'm talking sort of toe size.
Well, even when you're talking about fry does, if you're putting a lot of fry in a big body of water and then feeding them, you've got to spot feed everywhere, haven't you?
Exactly.
Which won't get eaten because there's not enough of them in there to eat it all. But if it's too far in size or too big in size, then you'll end up with the fish not getting as much food if you're only putting a small amount in there. So I suppose. And
the fish tend to hide.
Say again.
They seem to be scared of the big expanse of water. They tend to hide. They'll stay around the sides, behind the filter, and
stay in small clusters in corners or areas.
Unless you put a lot of small fish in and make like a massive shoal, then they feel comfortable.
Yeah, and there's safety in numbers, isn't there? And then they shoal, don't they? And they move around and they go around in a group because they're always thinking he's going to get eaten first before me. But yeah, I mean, personally, for me, pond keeping, whether it be koi, whether it be whatever you're having in your pond, whether it just be Sarasaconids or whether you're having the shububkins. A lot of people consider the shububkin the cheap man or the poorer man's koi, because there are some of them that are absolutely beautiful. My dad did this time when he lost all his koi. He did fill it with a lot of shububkins. Good 20 or 30 of them or so in there, and now they look quite nice. He's got a nice head of them with a couple of koi in there mixed in with them as well, and they do look pretty good.
Yeah, to a decent size as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean, he's got some of them they'll be a good at least. I said pushing some of them are pushing nearly 30 cm. Some of them shububkin, but they are pushing nearly 7 to 8 years old now, so they got a good size. But yeah, I would say pond keeping does not need to be expensive, as Vince always says as well. It doesn't. You can keep, you can recycle, you can upcycle, you can make use of reuse stuff, you can make things yourself, and you can have fun exploring it along the way while you're doing it, which is what I think the hobby's about.
It is.
And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Me and Daz aren't going to sit here and lie to you. I would love a mass high-tech pond with all the singing and dancing and everything.
Yeah,
we might miss the elements that we do, doing the water changes, the filter cleans and everything else. And at times, through the winter months, you might think, God damn, that's way easier. I just go.
And he's gone. Yeah, I mean, I would like a drum filter, but the amount of ponds I've got, it's just not feasible. For me, the multi-bays are the way forward. And he's gone again. What are you doing, Gaz? Technical problems. I'm assuming it's Gaz that's gone, not me. I think.
No, it's not you, mate. It was just my cable. Sorry, apologise about that. As you were saying, Daz.
I think Gaz is doing this on purpose. Chuck him in at the deep end.
Oh God, this is driving me up the wall. It's literally a cable. I'm just right. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Don't touch it.
Don't nothing move. Don't touch it. No. I'm back. What were we saying?
Yeah, about koi being really the hobby should evolve. To be honest, that's how most hobbies go, isn't it? You start like fishing. You get a little telescopic fishing rod to start with, and it evolves. And it's all right. The wife's wafting a blooming trifle in front of me.
Oh,
damn it! That's the best way to get my attention.
There you go. See, now we've lost Daz, but his camera's still on, but we've lost him to trifle. I do agree, Daz. See, when I first started fishing, it was the same thing. I started off with a few with a little bit of light gear, a couple little folding chairs, and away you go with a bank stick. Jobs are good. And till then, I got into being like a junior angler and started competing with the junior club that I were in. And then I got myself a Shakespeare tackle box with the octopus system on it, full pole, you name it, the whole job. Like I was singing and dancing, adjustable legs, so I could get myself, bait trays, bait waiters, and everything else. I got the whole job locked. And then you go again. Then after you've fished all that kind of stuff, then you go back to the basics again.
You do. You go back to stalking with just a rod and a landing.
Exactly. Yeah. So even when you progress, it's still sometimes nice to take a backward step. When most people progress to these big ponds, they take a backward step to a growing pond and go downsize and smaller to get all the little fish up.
Because the thing is as well, if you start small, if it's not for you, you've not invested a huge amount of money in it, have you?
That's it. And if you don't fall or get hooked or fall in love with the hobby, then you ain't invested too much, you ain't wasted too much money, and more than likely you can move that on quickly to somebody else that's interested in starting in the hobby or whatever it yourself, which a lot of people do. And a lot of people think, right, I like this, I'm going to bite the bullet, big pond, here we come. So I mean, to me, yes, definitely doesn't need to be expensive. And even when you go bigger, I still don't think you need to go expensive. But I think we can touch on that when we bring up one of the next questions and the next comments. What's your guys out there's opinions? Let's see. Let's have a quick flick through. Now then, I did have a message that was on here earlier, and it's there from Mr. Bass. The first message of the evening. It's his mate. It did make me giggle. Mike Bass. This did make me giggle. Hopefully, if I can bring it up there. Mike Bass, why is the GKP like a vintage martini? Hobbyists, anytime, any place, anywhere. I'm sorry, mate. I got monetized, so I thought, well, I'll stick them everywhere. So, talking of monetization and talking about adverts and such, thank you very much, Stallion, for the super chat.
Super.
Yes, evening, mate. With all the what we were doing, I saw it come up and I completely forgot, mate, trying to get the rest of them. But it is very much appreciated, bud. I will be sticking in a thank you comment in the community post for you again, mate. You're a star. Thank you very much, mate.
Stallion.
But yeah, that one did make me laugh. In fact, it made me that this could be the case. It could be the actual one where this gentleman does get the first and the official
Dad joke of the week goes to.
Dad joke of the week goes to Mike Bass. Thank you very much, sir.
That's a new one, that is, guys. I haven't seen that one before.
There's going to be another one coming down.
You've been busy.
Like it won't be coming this evening.
Right.
I need to create it yet. We've got Kazikai. It says, evening all, here to another great GKP live. Keep up the great chats. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Budget Pond Keeper says, ready and waiting. We didn't keep you waiting that long. Vicky from Bubble and Finn says, good evening, everyone. Grab your drinks, snacks, and settle down for a good night's entertainment. Thank you very much. You are a star. DT Kai says, good evening, all. Wow, I've been that busy with the pond, I forgot about the time. I've just finished the kids' tea, just in time for a great night watching the GKP. I almost finished. That almost rhymes. I just finished the kids' tea, just in time for a great night with the GKP. Cheers, bud.
Thanks, Dave.
MJH, Coy, evening all. I hope you were happy with your fish yesterday, mate. There was some
Some beauty.
crap. Remind me afterwards. Need to talk to you about that. Daz.
Early.
I was supposed to tell you. I was supposed to message you earlier. Yeah. Remind me afterwards to talk to you. Charlie Bifter Brown says, evening, guys, Daz, Vicky, and all viewing. Good evening, Charlie Bifter. Carlos with a C says, evening all. Carlos and anybody else out there that's entered the Gaz's Koi Pond 1,000 subscribers giveaway. Go check your comments. If you've made a mistake or you've made a spelling mistake and you haven't wrote exactly what it needs to be, which is Estelle, change your post. Daz, edit yours. Don't add another comment underneath because it won't be seen. Edit your posts. Edit your post, guys, because it needs to say, I'm in on the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. If you look at the top pinned comment, you will see that I have actually typed it out for you. All you need to do is copy that word for word, post it in. I don't want anybody to miss out. I want everybody to have a fair shot at it. So if you've put a comment in, make sure you go back and check it. If you haven't put, I'm in on the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, you will not be entered into the draw. Well, you will, but you won't get picked because it's incorrect. Nip and Koi says, good evening all. Evening, Nip. How are you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Look at this. I didn't notice this one. This one sneaked in. Hi all. With a smile face. How you doing? Sneaky. Where's Sneaky and Cheeky? I think you two could make a real good duo, Sneaky and Cheeky. DT Koi says, I can't wait lighter evenings. There's a lot to do in the garden, but it's become lighter and lighter now. It is, mate. It is.
Yeah. They put the clocks back. They're all forward.
Clocks go spring forward and they fall back. So we've got the clocks go forward an hour this weekend. I do believe it's this weekend. So we'll be losing an hour in bed.
Damn it.
But
what's the benefit in that?
Well, the benefit is it will be lighter later. So I have a question for you, Naz. How are the fish feeding over the last couple of days?
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
In the tunnel, it was about 30 degrees in there today. I fed them 4 times when I popped in this morning, just while I was there, and twice when I got back tonight.
You know when you go to a fish store and you see your fish and they all come rushing to edge, and they're all. I've never seen my fish do that. Not in the pond.
Do it in the tunnel.
I've seen them come up, but I've never heard them lip slapping like that.
Yeah.
Last night,
make a right racket.
Yeah, last night, this evening, but maybe not as much this evening because it does feel a little bit cooler. But the last couple of evenings and the last couple of mornings when I've got up, I'd dog out, gone out into the garden to feed them. I thought I'll just see if they want some, and they were there. Whoosh, straight up to the side with going like crazy. I thought, wow, these guys are getting switched back on. Their spring's on its way. It's well on its way. Lilies are starting to bud inside plant pots at the bottom of the pond, so everything's starting to come in, and it buds are coming on. Me daffodils have already flowered and died.
Yeah, you know that on your intro, the cherry tree on the intro, it's absolutely covered in blossom at the minute again.
Yeah, well, now I've found out that they're sucker plants, but that's all blossomed on my plum tree as well. But I'm not bothered. I just wanted cover for the little nest box, for the little bird box behind it, so I'm going to leave it as it is. Yeah, but excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, you're right, Dave. It is coming lighter, and we're officially in spring now. We're kicking to the right side of the good sun, the good weather.
Right at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, can't wait. Well, it's here now. We don't need to wait. It's here. Budget Pond Keeper says, evening all. Can I just thank everyone who's subscribed to my little channel? Nearly 400 subscribed, and I'm blown away. Thank you. There you go, mate. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody else can go out there. If that you haven't done already, do us a huge favour, guys. Pop round and give him a bit of a lift. See if you can get him above 400. Let's see if we can get him a little bit higher. It's always a positive thing when you can get a little bit more of a subscribers. And thanks very much to all the new subscribers that have joined us as well. I have gone from 1,000 and we're up to 1,110 now, which I'm proper blown away by. I never thought for a minute that would be jumping up another 110 subscribers in such a short period of time. So thank you very much to all the new. Thank you very much to all the originals and all those that have joined us along the way. It's greatly appreciated by myself, Daz, and all of us at the GKP. Whew. This is a lot more talking than what I did last time.
I'm seeing if I'm subscribed to Budget Pond Keeper.
Paul Mark says, good evening, GKP, and all I'm chat. All I'm chat.
I am now.
Nipping Coy says, fed up with all this rain. Yeah, me too, mate.
Sorry about
that. I'd rather the rain than the snow, because we did have a fair share of that as well.
Yeah.
Keith Smith says, evening all.
Evening,
Nick says, main pond's at 14.5 degrees. Now, mine hit 11 degrees last weekend. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we are pushing up closer to those temperatures. And this comment is to all the people that are involved in the GKP growing show. We are getting close, guys, and I would like you to all think about considering whether or not in the chat, if you want to talk in the growing show chat about when you would like to get together, try and make it easier, a little easier for George. There are some that are already collecting the fish, and I want, if you have already collected your fish, apart from those that took them, I need you to let me know. I mean, I'm not really all that bothered if a couple of weeks between them, but technically we've had ours on heat and they've been growing out, so when you're getting them back. But we'll then announce an official date. I think that's probably the best way. Announce an official date and say, right, everybody's got the fish. This is it. From this point now through to this point next year, there's our growing show. But what we're going to do as well is we're going to be asking you to share pictures of your fish with us along the way so that we can do what Vince said and share on a regular, which would be the fish from my growing show and the fish from Vince's growing show. One, because me and Daz would be interested in seeing how Vince's grows, and so we can see how your growing show that we've been a part of continues to do and do how well the fish do.
And how the patterns develop as well.
Yeah, that's what I want to see more, because that's the type of fish that prior to Vince putting these out, I had never seen before.
No,
so I didn't even know of the breed. So for me, it's a bit of an added bonus to see just what happens and just what comes from them. So it'd be interesting. If your ponds attempts are coming up and you're ready and you think you want to get together, just let me know, guys. I will meet you over there anytime, or maybe not on an evening, but any weekend to go over there and pick up as fish. Daz, we could be thinking about doing the same thing, especially if you're pushing up to 30 degrees inside your ponds. But we could be getting them ready to be going and getting picked up. Let me know, guys.
Is it cheating, Gazzy, if George keeps mine as a Gary?
Yeah, only a little, just a little bit, but yeah, just a little. Seska says good evening, everyone, with a little smiley face and a little wave. I actually said it right then. Yes, go me. Damn it. Aaron says, good evening all. How are you doing, Aaron?
Evening, Aaron.
Hope you're good, mate. Mr. Lawson, good evening all. Hope you're well, bud.
Evening, Mick.
Budget Pond Keeper says, smash that like, people. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, we've got at present 62 watching, 39 thumbs up. Let's see. Let's see. Right. I think the highest we've had is 100. Is it 100? 100 and some thumbs up. Let's see if we can push this one up and get it above that for once. No pressure. DT says there's 19 watching and only 6 likes, but I think you're way off there, mate. We're actually up to 40. The reason for the thumbs up, guys, is purely nothing more than to show how you feel about it. If you're coming back to watch each week, then you're obviously enjoying what you see. If you're enjoying it, show us by giving us a bit of a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithms. It helps push the channel out to a wider audience, which is what we want to do. We want to keep on growing. MJH Koi, my pond is around 12 to 14 degrees. There you go. See, everybody's is coming up. Dave, yours was still a little bit cold though, DT Koi. Bigger ponds, deeper, partially underground, partially above is yours, I think, mate. Maybe
is it in the shade as well?
Yeah, is it in a shaded area? If it is it around the back of the house that don't get sunlight until the latter part of the day, which by that time is already starting to cool off because it's still, just coming into the beginning of spring. Oh, 9 likes, he says. Budget Pond says he's at 14. Skeg is in with a boom.
Evening,
Skeg. Hey, Skeg. I got a copy written for you. That's how dedicated I am, mate. I shall take a copyright for you, mate. I made your little jingle, your little thing there for when you blag me head. And I might have got copyright with the music. So we've changed it a little bit. So they're not going to get to copyrights again. So same jingle, same video bit, just different little tune background. That was one of my first emails this morning. Congratulations, Gaz, you've been copywritten. Jig says, howdy folks, with a cowboy hat and a thumbs up. How you doing, mate? Budget Pond Keeper says, evening, Skeggy. Andy says, evening, everyone. How you doing, mate? Busy Bee says, hi all, with a wave. Sorry. Phil from Telford Koi Ponds with a waving hand, a thumbs up and a smiley face. How you doing, Philip? You good, mate? Edinburgh Koi Pond, Steve Childs says, good evening all. With a little dodgy character with glasses and a tash. That looks like one of those joke sets you used to get when you were a kid, didn't it? Dodgy glasses and dodgy tash.
Fake moustache.
Rice says, hey up all. Hope everyone is doing well. How you doing, right? Right?
Evening, right?
The gaming champion. We've got royalty in again. Andy says, Chris, BPK, Dave, Daz and all. Dale Sauter. Evening, everyone. Now then, Dale. I haven't forgot, mate. I do need to look at it. The only reason why I haven't ordered one yet, mate, is I ordered some cups and the cups and the pens, the GKP pens, they arrived.
Ooh.
But my cups didn't. So we're a bit reluctant, mate, to place any more in case I were getting messed about because my cups haven't turned up. So providing that they do turn up, mate, and I get a confirmation email, then I'm going to look into sending yours out to you, bud. So you just bear with me. I don't want to risk it because if they don't turn up, and I'm going to think, hang about, what's going on here? Where's me? I might be able to get some freebies, like Dave did. Which reminds me, need to do a shot for your coffee cup, Dave. Jessica says, waving hands to everyone. Twisted Koi says, yo, 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 me cupcakes.
Evening,
How you
Vince.
doing, Vince? Did you save me a chocolate? I bet you didn't. I bet you ate them all, didn't you? Oh, you twisted chocolates. You'll know what I'm talking about. Simon S says, evening all. Andy's Koi Puddle says, I thought last night went very well. A great system to run it.
Yeah.
I think it, well, I thought it went well by me not being ready with a folded up piece of paper. and then using post-it notes which stuck to each other, which were a bit of a pain in the backside. But other than that, and Kev's annoyance with the rattly tin, which was too loud. I need to get a quieter tin. But other than that, yeah, I think it went pretty good. We got Andy's Koi Puddle says Vince, Becky, the number one, the first picker. Happy with your fish? I hope you're happy with it, because I thought they were all nice. But what people picked last night, there were some nice fish. Some very nice fish.
Nice shapes as well.
Yeah, they were. I don't, to be fair, to me, I think there were only one that I would have said, that looks a bit on the thinner side, so I'm going to go with a male. The rest of them look rather chunky, which would, I don't know, maybe indicate they were more. I'm not going to say that because that's just insinuating that, no. Not going to go there before I end up in trouble. Scott Bud Love says, Vince, hey, from across the pond, everyone. Oh, from across the pond. Thanks very much for joining us, mate. Again, obviously. DT Kai says, like Gaz said, it's all about helping each other and bringing everyone together. It is, mate. It 100% is, and that's what we want to. That's what we want to push forward. We want to push forward to get more people. If you want to come and sit and perhaps maybe have a word with Bubble and Fins, if you want to come and have a word with, Mick, Mike, Daz, Colin, Jeff, myself, whoever, there's always many a person in there. You're welcome to come in and take over the topic and come in and ask questions. Bring your own topic and have a chat with us any night of the week. We are in there most evenings. If you don't find us in there, drop me a message and I'll join you in there. Lisa Leach says, evening everyone, with a thumbs up. Were you happy with your fish too, Lisa? Because you got a nice one as well. Dave from Koi Karma says, evening guys and girls. Hope you're all good. Great show last night with a double thumbs up. Thank you very much, mate.
Hey, Dave.
And obviously, hats off to Vince. Vince and Ricky are the guys that are putting the fish together there. I just did this side of it. So it's hats off to them, because it's their idea. I just helped where I could. And I think, why not if you can. There we go now then. Bubble and Fins with a thumb and a double kisses. Daz, how's Koi question? May get a few little ones off you. How's Koi? Daz, how's Koi question?
The koi is fine, thanks, Nigel. Yeah, settling. It's still in.
How's the Koi?
Yeah, whizzing about. So yeah, settling. The feeding well. So I've got him in there with about 20 smaller fish, just for a bit of company. But yeah, they're all feeding well.
Sweet. DT says it's not a problem, guys. Always happy to help out. Alan T says, hi guys, evening all. I'm going to give the rest of the chat room a chance. That mate was brilliant. I loved it. Well, obviously, I don't stop, do I? I always talk over people. I just keep going. I just keep nattering. But it was nice, mate. It was nice to sit and listen to things and people that I've known from being, a little kid, and knowing that you've come down there and you've gone in there and you've told me stuff about that shop I didn't even know, and told me about the owners, things I didn't know. And it was nice. It's nice to hear somebody else's experience and have a chat with somebody else. It's good, mate. It's good to talk. That's what it's for. And you're more than welcome anytime, bud. Paul Higgins says, good evening all. Good evening, Paul. Oh, Higgins said,
Paul.
I could have give you a trim when I was up there, Daz. I do my sons. I've done it for years. Oh, there you go, Daz. Got to do right short back inside.
Yeah.
He's a landscape gardener.
Yeah,
he could have given himself a buzz cut. Whoa. Jigsy says, looking fresh, Gaz. I thought you'd had your ears lowered for a minute. Sharpie's Koi says, hey up, me dumps. How's it going, mate?
Evening, Sharpie.
Jamie's Koi Pond says, hello, everyone. I did have a look at the others live. It's all right, mate. I know you did. I seen you all there. I seen you. I checked it out. It was more interesting. Switch to you. Thank you very much, mate. Right, we've got hi, Gaz and Daz. Any chance of a shout out? Just started posting a few videos this week on my current channel. Current small pond build would be appreciated. Not a problem at all, mate. Andy's Koi Puddle. Let's see if we can find you on here. I wish This is why I have the second one, the second screen up. Where are we? You'll have to fill for me a minute, Daz, while I find this one.
Hang on, I'm trying to find it as well. I'm looking on my tablet.
Bear with us 2 seconds, man. I'll find your channel. Once I find your channel, I shall bring it up. If one of the admin could find that little comment there, if you click on the three dots at the side of it, you can go on, click on the three dots at the side, and it says go to channel, cut, copy, and paste his little link.
Is it Andy's Koi Puddle?
Andy's Koi Puddle, yeah. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. It's got to be. There we go. I found it. There we go, mate. I found it. Go to your channel. Copy that.
Yes, I've got it.
37 subscribers at present as Andy. And
38 now.
38. A quick paste in there. You can all follow that link, guys. Do us a huge favour. Let's share the love a little bit. Let's see if we can get another channel up off the ground and get him out there running and get him a few more subscribers. Help him and encourage him to get a bit more content out there.
Timber frame pond. That's interesting. Yeah, fiberglass.
That makes you now, mate. If I have a quick look for you, that makes you 47. You just got a quick 10 there straight away, mate. I've rung the bell as well. We're all, and we shall have a check out of your channel. And what we do from time to time, guys, what we do, I get that one at least once a week, don't I? What we do also do is every now and again, we'll find another channel and we'll go and sit in the Discord channel and we'll watch something together collectively. So it's not something, that we do always on our own. We might sit there and watch. But what we also do after that is the vast majority of us will then go and watch your channel and give you a comment individually as well, mate. So you still get the views and you still get the comments. But it's just what we do. Share it and have a chat and natter about what's going on in the video itself. So it's all good. Busy Bee said, good question, Jigs. It was a good question, mate. And like I said, it is something I do think and totally agree with. Doesn't have to be expensive at all. Although a lot of the components and the bits and bats and everything you need is expensive.
Yeah. Especially these days now. It's spiraling and spiraling, everything is.
It is. This lady that I've got up right now that said, good question, Jigs, also came up with a very good question. And the question, she didn't actually post it, but she spoke and told us directly in the Discord chat is, what should be in every koi keeper's arsenal? What do you reckon, Daz? What would you say if you were starting off tomorrow? What would you keep as a basics for the koi keeping arsenal? What would you have? All the things that you think, right, now, that's something I need. That's something I should have had. Yeah, essential.
A microscope. Your basic water parameter test kits.
Yeah.
Your basic meds, like your PP and such. A decent net, a pan net, and a stock net. I mean, if you've got biggish fish, you need a stock net. Obviously, if you've only got tosi, you probably don't need that straight away. But they're the basics off the bat that I can think of.
And if you're wondering what I'm laughing at, the moderators do tend to send me messages every now and again. One just said something that.
That's the pond to put it in as well.
And a pond to put in. That's a good comment too, Carl. You're right. Sorry, that one didn't. He does it every week, Mike. Mike does it to me every week. He'll send some comment that gets me. And you got me there mid-vape as well. So, but that was quite funny. But yeah, I'd totally agree, Daz. All the basics that you would think.
Yeah.
Anything else that you would say you might need as a slightly more advanced koi keeper when you're going from being a beginner into
then you need your things like your TDS meter, your salt meter, and
that's something I need. I want a salt meter.
I haven't got one yet. They're not cheap. This is why I haven't got one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're looking 90 quid. But you only need a salt meter if you're salting. You don't really need a salt meter if you don't. So it's not something out there that you have to have. You don't have to use salt. A lot of people do, but it's down. That's the beauty of koi keeping. Everybody's different. Everybody does something a little different. But if you are going to do it the two ways. There's two ways that you can do it. Most pond or koi keepers will do a water test for you. Now, my local place, I used to take down a sample of water and they would do a salt test for me. And then if I knew there was nothing in there, which was more than likely each time I knew I would probably either have a minimal amount, they would work out and tell me exactly what I needed to add. Now, they're not there anymore, so I'm going to have to bite the bullet at some point and get myself one of them. But there are other places around here that I could go and do the same thing. So if you wanted to do it, there are other means, but some places might charge you for doing a water test.
And the thing is, Gaz, some places will not let you take water samples to their premises for biosecurity, which I totally understand.
If you take it in a watertight sealed area and you ask them to come outside, they may test it for you. But again, they might want to use their products or their testers if they put it in your water and then using it in their pond. So you're best ringing and checking first. But most places, most places probably wouldn't have a problem with it. I would think they would offer some kind of services, or you can get people to come and test your water for you at your ponds for you.
Yeah.
Basic kits, though, aren't the cheapest. Do you really need to go to HANA test kits? I would say you don't, unless you really want to be that precise. But as I spoke with somebody tonight, if you've got a slight colour blind problem or colour blindness problem, and you see difficult shades of red, now how do you do a nitrite and nitrate test when they're a shade of red?
Yeah.
You know, at that point, at that stage, you're probably going to have to go to getting a HANA tester or get
the spouse to test for you.
Yeah, because you're going to struggle. So, you know, there's always reasons why some people need to go out and get these more expensive things, and there's always reasons why you want to do it. If you wanted to do it because you do, then, you know, each to their own. But a basic test kit, what I would say, would be your number one priority. Like I said, basic test kit, microscope, sock net. Doesn't have to be a pan net, but it's easier with a pan net. They're a lot more. They're difficult to move through the water unless you turn them side on. But they are better. They are less stressful for your fish. And as long as you're using a carp-friendly net, if you're using any other type of net, it must be a carp-friendly net so they don't get the dorsal hooked into it and they don't start doing any damage to the fins, because other nets, cheaper nets out there, will get caught up and then you'll end up snagging your fish up there and ripping or tearing its damaging its fins. So always make sure you've got a decent carp-friendly net because they won't snag your fish up. I think your basic arsenals does. A basic first aid kit if you were going to need to do anything. Yeah,
your Tamidine and all your basic antiseptics and such.
Some sedate if you ever need to do a fish. Don't ever try doing a fish while it's active. They don't like it. They're going to get stressed. You're only going to upset them and get them even more stressed. Sedate them. But my advice is to you, if you've never used it before, do it with somebody. Always make sure you get somebody that's got a bit of experience. If anything that you're doing, anything you're unsure about, there's plenty of people. We've all got friends that do pond keeping or keep ponds. Doing it together with a friend is always a lot easier. You can learn from them and learn from their experiences that they've had. Yeah.
Same with PP as well. That can be quite scary. So always get someone.
I've still not done it, Daz, and I would do it if I were going to do it. If I were going to do it, I would do it with somebody like Daz that's already done it before in the past.
Yeah.
I've never done it in a big pond. Never had the need to as of yet. I've managed to get rid of most of my problems with conventional treatments for parasites. I've never PP'd straight. I have PP bathed, but that's because I watched Daz doing it at his farm, and I was comfortable thinking, right, yeah, I've seen that done now. I know what's crap. I'm happy to do it. So.
And the thing is with PP, when you PP in your ponds, sometimes you'll work it out to the exact right quantity, you put it in, and it uses it up really fast. It oxidizes. Then you've got to put more in. Then you're going into uncharted waters because you're going above the recommended dose. So yeah, it can be a bit nerve-wracking, to say the least.
Yeah.
So long as you've got plenty of variation going in, though, that's the main thing. As much aeration as possible. And keep the neutralizer with you, the sodium thiosulfate or whichever you're going to use.
Or the other one, which is...
the hydrogen peroxide.
cool. I always forget that name. DT's just gone back there to the last question. I used to use a multi-bay, great bit of kit. Just too much time cleaning and taking a hose through the house, but it is a great bit of kit and not a lot of money.
If you've got to take it through the house, that is a pain, yeah. But to be fair, I mean, the whole point of koi keeping, well, in my book, is relaxation. When you're watching the fish and cleaning the filters as part of that. I zone out when I'm doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, I do. Totally do. But that was a little bit on one of the questions that Busy Bee felt we should have a chat about. But I hope that helps for anybody that's, starting off. The next one, I mean, there is going to be absolutely tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of messages and comments that are coming in here. I will get through them. I'm going to try as much as I can. Hilsey said, hi all. Mike F said, evening everyone. Sneak about, I will come back to that because that is one of our other questions that we've got that somebody has been putting in, and I do totally agree. I really enjoyed making mine last year. I really did. And for me, it does exactly what I wanted it to do, which is up to press. Fingers crossed.
Well, that gives you the extra sense of achievement when it works, though, doesn't it, Gaz? You think, wow, I've done that and I've saved myself money by making that. Yeah,
I did. I saved an absolute fortune making myself a free barrel filter system. And if you do it, there's plenty of ideas and designs out there. And I had fun doing it. And, all right, I had to make a couple of alterations, big deal. But I mean, some people learn from one way, other people learn from making mistakes and moving on and overcoming it. That's me. That's how I do. So,
well, end of the day, you've not made one before, so
no, exactly.
You're allowed to make mistakes.
For me, I didn't understand. I didn't know why it wouldn't cast it. And obviously, it makes sense. But there are some modifications I would like to make to it. Again, if I were going to do it again, I would make it with some slightly bigger pipework so I could get a bigger pond, bigger pump running through it and have a bit more than just 10,000 litres. But at present, 10,000 litres an hour runs through it. But I tend to knock it down to about 7.5 or 7, 8 and leave it at that because I don't want to keep running the pump flat out. But up to press, doing its job.
Yeah.
What we got here, Shrewsbury Koi says, evening crew. Evening crew. My number one, MJH Koi says, my one rule, if you look after your pond water, the koi will look after themselves. Disagree? If you don't put food in, they ain't going to eat, are they? Just been a bit
pedantic.
Yeah, why not? Can't. But yeah, I totally agree, mate. It is. If your parameters are good, your fish are good. But yeah, definitely. Somebody just sent me another link now. I'm just trying to make a quick read of that. It came up on my phone at the same time. It does get expensive the bigger you go, though. So why is it wise to learn? So that's why it's wise to learn the hobby with a smaller pond and equipment.
Yeah,
it does. The bigger you go, the more you need, the more you require. The bigger,
make a mistake on a small pond.
Yeah,
it's a cheaper mistake. You make a mistake on a big pond, it's going to cost you.
Yeah. I found that young fry always do better in smaller areas. They feel safer and easier for them to find the food. Yeah, that's what we've noticed when we've seen it before in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely thrive in a more confined environment.
Rice says, the one thing I always say, we don't keep fish, we keep water. There you go.
Yeah.
Tanks are pretty boring. We're not in them though, mate. Sharpie's guy says, love shabubkins. I used to breed them. I love shabubkins. I used to be one. That reminds me of that. Bigger ponds can give you a headache. Small ones doesn't, such as should I reinforce the bottom of concrete? Do I put a bottom drain in? How deep should I go? Small doesn't give you all them headaches. You're right, mate. It doesn't at all. You can progress to the headaches when you move to it, and then it's not so much of a headache when you know what you're doing.
Have you seen even the build, Gaz?
Have I seen it? No, I haven't. No.
It's got his build 8 foot by 5 foot, I think it is. Yeah, he's started digging it out already. Yeah, that should be interesting when he's got that all up and running.
Nice. Yeah, damn right. I've got a lot of catching up to do. There's not many hours in a day when you put video content together. There's not, but when you're putting stuff together, when you're working full time,
yeah,
and then you're talking to people in a Discord chat, and then you're putting more video content out, and then Daz sends you 500 videos that you've got to edit, which needs to get done. That needs to get dropped this weekend before I put some out for myself this weekend. But yeah, there's not a lot of time.
You just have to snatch a little bits here and there. Yeah.
Now, I can juggle with 3 balls. I'm quite good at it, but I haven't mastered 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 yet. So I will get around to catching up with everybody's videos. I have got a lot of catching up to do. So I apologise to all those I would normally leave a comment with. I haven't caught up for YouTube for a couple of weeks. But we have got out stuff for my growing show, for Vince's growing show, and everything else. We are there. We are there. We're still there. Tokyo One says, "Hello, lads. How you doing, bud?" Right. High-tech ponds come with its own high-tech issues. Yeah, there you go. You're right.
Yeah.
Alan T says, if you have some DIY skills, you can read up and look at YouTube. I made a free chamber from 3 45-gallon drums, and it cost about 55 quid, and that's pipe work as well. There you go, mate. That's 3-barrel filter system, same principle as mine, mate, isn't it? So you've got exactly the same, and it does the job, mate. It works. If it works and it's cheap, the only thing I would say about it, that's why I'm happy with where mine is, because it's in the shed, it's out of the way. Even though it's in the shed, it looks quite neat and tidy, but they don't look as fancy, does they, as you. But saying that, for me, a Nexus 220,
yeah,
the goddamn things are huge. It's like having a jacuzzi in the bottom of the garden. And if I'm going to have something that big in the bottom of the garden full of water, I might as well get in it myself and enjoy some out of that. So that's the way I look at it. They're too big, they're massive.
To be honest, Gaz, this is what's always put me off koi keeping in the past. The ugliness of the filtration. I don't know what it is with koi keepers, but they seem to be blind to it. All they can focus on is the fish, and they don't notice this monstrosity in the corner that dominates the whole garden.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's why I wanted to get mine in that shed out at Waydale. So then it's completely gone, other than the pipe returns. That's it.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted.
So they feel the need to put 4,000 meters of bloody pipe work and 2 million elbows and connections and
all over the shop.
Get a junction. Yeah.
It does make you think, doesn't it, sometimes? Because when you look at it, when you look at them, 9 times out of 10, if you look at most people's pipe work, you can think, well, there's a way simpler route for that. For example, Mr. Tropical Koi. We went to his pond this season to give him an hand and get some bits and bats sorted out with it. And I think we took out 9 elbows.
Yes.
9 elbows.
Yeah.
We all know that each elbow, or each 90 degree, or each 45 degree, the more bend you put in, the more restriction you put in, the more back pressure you create, the less flow you've got going through. So dropping 9 out, and when we switched it on and put it back on, it was flowing like, in fact, we had to turn it down.
And that was a pond specialist that came and fitted all that for him, wasn't it?
I'm saying nothing, no comment, but yeah, when you can take out 9 elbows and make a more direct route, there's something not right, mate. There's something not right.
Yeah.
There we go. Tokyo One says, hello, lads, could you help me? I need to get the water volume of my pond got to put on my water meter. You're right. You need to what volume of your pond. Right. So it's width times depth times breadth.
Yeah.
That I should be able to send you a link, mate, for
Japanese Water Gardens has got a
yes, it has. Converter on
for circular, kidney shape, any shape pond you've got, they've got a way.
And that's on their website, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on one of their videos.
If you go to Japanese water gardens, mate, type in Japanese water gardens on Google, and you go onto their website, they've got a conversion chart on there that you can type it all in. Basically, I think it's length times width times depth, and you put it in either feet or inches or centimeters and meters.
Yeah, and they do a gallon version and a litre version.
Yeah, and then that will give you your literage or your gallons within a close enough for anything you're doing that you're treating with.
As close as you're going to need.
Plus, on top of that, then whatever you've got filtration, you need to add to it as well. So, for example, mine's now 4,000 litres because of the 300 litres that I have on my filter system. So you add your filtrations when it's filled with water as well, because obviously when you start including that, you'll have that little bit more literage for when you're treating and such. But I hope that helps, mate. If it doesn't, drop me. You've got Tokyo One. You've got me on what's it called? WhatsApp me, mate, and I'll send you a link for it, bud. No problem. And we'll get it. If you're not sure, drop me your sizes. We'll work it out for you, and I'll send you the literage in gallons or litres, mate. We'll get you sorted 100%. There you go. Tokyo Nip said, "What is the size?" So if you can put them in, we could get you your answer tonight. I can't do it right now because I'm on here, and that's my assistant might be able to.
Well, Mr. Skegness, you do it.
Oh, Mr. Skegness, we could ask Skeg Google. Say Google a lot. Could you tell us? You want to give us? If you give us your specs, mate, we'll let you know. Koi Karma says, I started fishing like you guys. Now a match angler, have thousands of pounds of gear. One of my poles cost 4K. That's one of those poles you don't want someone riding over on riverbank, mate, innit, with a pushback as they come past the road.
Or a fish pulling your top section off.
Or a dog chewing. Oh, God. Hey, Daz.
I've seen a few dragging that round.
I took off, you debait, and I just dropped my hook length down, and I left the skin of a maggot. It was just the skin of a maggot. It hadn't all come off, just the skin of a maggot, and it dropped in water. And I walked to the side of me, mate, and I see it. Let's grab a coffee, mate. Let's have a coffee. We've got a big flask between us. So I'm pouring myself a coffee. Next thing you know, I see the top 3 sections of my pole going straight across the pond. I did no more than drop me trousers off, drop me jumper off, took me trainers off, and just literally dived straight in. I thought, you ain't having that, mate. And I got my pole, swung back to edge, and I managed to attach it back to my thing and got it out. 11 pounds, 6 ounces mirror cap. I actually landed the fish. It took me ages to get it in, though. It took me a good 30-40 minutes to land it. But my mate Lee Miller was sat there watching us going, you absolute nutcase, what are you doing? But yeah, always make sure if you're using a pole or you're fishing in a pole, you debait properly. Don't leave it in margins, because whenever you're fishing margins, all carp know in these big fishing waters or lakes and ponds, wherever we debait and we chuck it in and we just chuck it to the side, that's where they come. They come sneaking around it. Towards end at night, they come around just hoovering it all up. And
always a bigger fish as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean for a mirror cap, just cruising around at margins, mate. When I see my pole going across, I thought, no, not having that. Like I said, I think mine was about 600-700 quid. Nothing in comparison to yours, but I won't let that pole go. No way.
My son did it twice in the same day. I says, put the bait runner on. Didn't put the bait run on. Boom! Rod went straight in. Cast over it, hooked the rod, got it back in. He got the fish in. Did it about half an hour later, exactly the same thing again. He's learned his lesson now.
Yeah, but you do, don't you? But it's the silly little things that teaches you lessons. That's what you learn from it. Your mistakes as you go along.
Luckily, the rod floated, so it was just floating across the top.
my pole, I swear, it had like a V coming from back of it. It was just steaming across top of water. So luckily, the fish didn't pull it under and get away with it, because it was heading straight for lilies. And I thought, no, that's not happening. We're not having that. I'm not losing that. I've only had that pole for about 5-6 weeks. I'm not going out and buying another free stop sections for my pole.
Well, my local lake, they've got, I think the last count, there's about 25 rods in there that have been pulled in. Well, they have to go out with a grappling hook in the close season and pull the blooming rods out.
That's what we used to do. We come close season, coming up to end of season, You go in and you get your rake out to get all weed out, getting it, prepping it for next season. And you'd be bringing in fishing rods where somebody else has done it when they've been on a day ticket and they lost the rod and kept their mouth shut and not said no.
Yeah.
We even brought in a remote control submarine. about this big. I mean, pea green pond water and somebody been sailing a submarine round and they took it underwater in pea green water. I mean, you just won't, would you? You can't see,
No.
you're never going to know where it's gone. And well, we found it when it come up, attached to cabin until it came out with it. Yeah, all good fun. Loved it. I loved them days. I used to go fishing that often. My mum and dad used to bring me tea to side at riverbank.
Yeah.
Used to come down. Hey, what you up to? In fact, that's where my dad first caught me smoking as well, if memory serves. He come and sat beside of me, and I hadn't seen him, and I'm sat there smoking away. You got one of them for me? Oh shit!
Busted.
Busted. Yeah, got my ass kicked for that one. Oh dear, good old days.
Yeah.
Charlie 50 Brown says, big shout out to the COD crew. Great day, guys. Oh, apparently they're sorry they're late, but the helicopter was late in picking them up.
Children.
There we go. There we go. Sorry, me and Paul and Colin are late. The helicopter arrived late. Steve About says, Sunday the clocks go forward. Thank you very much. Carlos C says, I did have to put in 5,000 LOL, Gaz. 5,000. What's that one reference to?
Is that litres? I don't know. Yeah, it's
Sorry,
a bit of a sticky remark, that is. It could be anything.
Well, it probably isn't. It probably isn't. It's probably something I've already touched base on, but oh, look at this. Sneaky. Here is Cheeky. Sneaky and Cheeky Buff in the house. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Cheeky.
Late. Sneaky weren't late. She sneaked in before you. Cheeky guy. Right, we'll go on to his next one. Oh, here. Cheeky's here. Hello, Daz, and the rest of the commenters and listeners. Hope you're all well and happy. Thanks very much, Jamie. Hope you are,
Jamie. Hope George and Mildred are still okay.
Yeah. How they doing? Jamie, keeping it coy, says evening with a wave.
Evening,
we
Jamie.
have got.
There's another one doing a new pond. How's it going, Jamie?
Yeah.
It looked a lot of digging.
That's a damn deep hole, mate. I've seen on your thumbnail. How deep you making that pond? Let's go on to another one of his questions, Daz. And the topic is, which we kind of touched into, MJH Coy says, hi, guys. I think a good topic is DIY pond fillers, which we've touched on a little bit. So we will touch on that a little bit more. What would you go for, Daz? If you were going, we will be doing a DIY pond filter in a sense, Daz, won't we? At some point.
Yeah.
I still don't know quite how we're going to get to the bottom of that barrel. I've got a sneaky suspicion it's probably going to end up with one of us crawling in there and somebody tying rope to us to pull us back out.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the smallest.
I shall bring the rope. That's going to be some fun. But the other thing is, what do you think? DIY fillers?
Yeah.
I think they work. So, I mean, let's face it. You say DIY, right? All fillers are manufactured, just not manufactured by you. Making a DIY filler is just doing it yourself and cutting out the cost. So, yeah, 100%. Stick with the basics, like the Japanese filter systems that they use. Jack matting through chamber after chamber after chamber and return. I mean, it can be as much as that, as simple as that. Doesn't need to be anything.
What I would do is a chamber full of jack matting connected to a second chamber with K1. So then you've got your mechanical and then your bacterial.
Yeah,
you can have a moving bed in the second one, the biological rather. You can have a moving bed in the second one as well, aerated. Yeah. So you don't, unless you've got a lot of really big fish, then you don't really need any more than that.
You
It's
don't.
worked
Something to
perfect
polish
fine.
off for your fines, something to get rid of polishing, a bit of polishing for your fines, and you're away, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I made mine. Tight, and I weren't going out, and I weren't going to spend that money on a filter.
Well, it's
Yeah, I
not
could have
tight
gone out
gas.
there and bought an easy pod, but
You could spend that money on fish rather than blowing it all on the filter.
I could have gone out there, could have got an easy pod. By the time I'd done with all the bits and bats, I would have then have had to put more money in for pipe work and such, and that would have been an expense that I don't want to make my pond about. I wanted to make my pond, and I wanted to keep it simple, and I wanted to do a pond build, and I will be doing the pond build when I alter it. There will just be some extended piece of pipes added in, and the bottom drain might get a secondary drain put in there too. So I've got 2 bottom drains tied into one. But I personally think that if you can, I really enjoyed it, not just the koi keeping side and cleaning my filter side and all that kind of thing. I really enjoyed making the filter as well. I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
So there's like the sense of satisfaction that you get from it when it works. It can be a pain in the ass when it doesn't, if it's not working as you expected, or you get airlocks or you get bubbles coming through. But I did have a couple of times where me and Jeff Lees sat with me, well, not with literally, but on video call. He sat with me in the shed while I drilled God knows how many holes in a piece of pipe.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was the first time, and it worked, but it weren't good enough. So we went to the drawing board, and we got another section of pipe, and I sat there for 4 hours. The amount of times I put my batteries on charge, and then continued. But I spent an afternoon out talking with my friends, tinkering away in a group chat, having a laugh, having a giggle, while they're all going, "Are you still drilling holes?" "Yeah, I'm still drilling bloody holes," and they were taking me. But I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good fun, and it worked, and it works well. It does exactly what I need it to do.
Yeah, I don't know
There are
about
some
you
elements.
guys. I would say on a DIY build, one of the biggest problems and ball aches is getting the right size hole drill for the pipes, because if you get it a little bit too big and you put your rubber seal round, it will leak.
Yeah,
That'd be the one thing I'd say to people: get your right size hole core,
hole saw, right hole saw,
for your pipe and your fittings.
I did. That was the hardest thing for me, and I had to do the same thing. I had to get. Well, actually, the truth be told, I got my youngest son. Do us a favour, come and hold this nut on the outside while I get inside that barrel and put that nut on the inside of there.
Yeah.
God damn, that was hard work. Thanks for your help, Lou. See you in a bit, mate. And then I give our Brandon a shout. Brandon, will you do us a favour, mate? Will you come and give us an hand? And Brandon come in, we got the second one done. And off he went. And when I come to the third one, my daughter were here. I said, "Oh, Bethan, do us a favour, come and give us an hand." I wish I'd have had Bethan there to do the first and the second. She just went like this, straight in, boom, done, like that. Sweet. I wish she'd have been there from the beginning, so I could have had her do all three with me, because our Louis, you're hard work, Lou, and he knows it is, but he's a cheeky little shit with it, and he makes it funny. So we did have a good laugh and a giggle. I'm half in a frigging barrel, and he's half laughing his head off at me, saying, "Well, can you see how?" "No, it's dark in here, mate." So I'm inside a green barrel. What do you think you can see? We're going to have some fun, Daz, when it comes to doing that one for you, mate. That is for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are memories. You know, the laughs and jokes I had with these guys and my family and my kids doing it and making it. And that's what makes it more enjoyable. So yeah, 100%. I would say, have a go. What you got to lose? You're certainly a lot less expense, and keep tinkering with it. And again, it's a learning curve, isn't it? You learn from what you've done, you design, and if you can modify it and you make it slightly better and it works better each time, then it's just like going out and buying an easy pod and modifying the shit out of that so it actually does what it should do.
But the other thing is as well, don't go gun-ho, drilling holes left, right and centre. Do it on a test piece of something first and then make sure it fits.
Try it out first. But yeah, I'd say definitely 100%. If you can go and you've got the capabilities of doing it, there are loads of channels out there, loads of videos out there, loads of information, and loads of examples that you can go for. There are a few that you think, wow, god damn, that's awesome. Can't believe they made that as good as that. And some of them really do work and do look the bee's knees as well. Yeah, the master. the man himself, writer, look at the stuff that guy can make. I would love to spend an afternoon with him and say, writer, will you show me how to do plastic welding like that?
Yeah.
Can we make a little free-tiered shower system and have some lessons on how to do it? Because I've never done it, but I would love to do that kind of thing. I even turned around and said, hey, right, you're making that look so easy. Do us a favor, knock me one up. A little comment. But yeah, it's brilliant. And look at his stuff. Look at Wrighty's stuff. That's what you can progress to.
Yeah, that's Civ.
Throughout building your own stuff. I mean, his looks like it's been bought from a shop.
It does, yeah.
So yeah, 100%. Building your own filter systems. As you start off and you progress and you progress and you progress and you can get to that kind of stage, then yeah, something to aspire to for sure. So yeah, I do definitely think anybody should have a go at making their own filter system. At the end of the day, what you got to lose? If not for trying, that's the only thing that if it fails, it don't work.
Yeah.
Back to drawing board, try again, come up with a different method. But a little bit of research and you're laughing. Oh, DT says, not this weekend, Gaz. I'm doing my walk. You are, mate. Yeah. There you go. Right then. Jamie says his pond was at 11.5 degrees and then feeding all this week. Yeah, mate, mine has gone right up. The feeding, I can't believe how much more of a different. Tracy says, please don't encourage him, Kaz. We're encouraging. We're going to get into trouble. Oh, it does. Check out the what is it chat tonight. Somebody's posted a picture for the growing show. This growing show is costing me a fortune, he says.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
This is the video of his garden. I apologise.
I've never seen so many pipe fittings.
I did see them all. No more pipe fittings. But I apologise to his wife or his partner. There is no need for any of them. He's a perfectly decent pond that fish could grow in. It's not. I am not responsible.
He's got some nice fish though, Gaz.
He has, mate. A nice pond as well. Nice setup too.
Yeah.
14.6 on the pond today for Carlos C. So there you go. Just got another message come through. Mike Bass says, missing you on here, Mr. Lawson, with a thumbs up. DT Coy says, but only at one side. Black Country Coy says, I've been good. How about you?
Evening.
Eden Coy Pond says, hi all. Hope everyone is okay. How you doing, bud? Hope you're well, mate. How did the growing show go? Were you happy with your results, mate? Happy with everybody's turnout? See, that's like I said. I'm sorry, mate. I need to catch up because I've not seen Hope for ages. I've got loads of content I need to catch up on. Well, look at that. 90 in the chat. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. 59 thumbs up. Let's see if we can get that up to a 9. Let's see if we can get that 90 up there for us. Thumbs up for once. Let's see if we can push it out there, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. Chasing Koi says, knock, knock to all. Aid the Koi keeper says, evening all, and that.
Evening, Aid.
Oh, we'll go. Dino says, I decided not to say anything on Koi Talk Live as I'm against bullying on a keyboard warriors. As I said, what I wanted to say to Crafty last night.
Fair enough.
I shall say nothing and we shall move on. Gaz, hang about. I knew it. Gaz, with that haircut, I reckon you're trying to mimic James the Koi Whisperer. James the Koi Whisperer ain't got a patch on me, fella. Because one of us is not daft enough to spend that money on a pond.
Does James still put content out there? I've not seen anything from him.
I haven't seen any for it, but like I said, man, I haven't seen a lot of other channels for a lot, to be fair. Yeah. There's the first link for Andy's Koi Puddle. So if you do us a huge favour, guys, go check him out. Give him a sub. And we've got all the subs coming in now. We've got an evening from the Baldwin Reefer. How are you doing, Jack? Hope you're good.
Jack.
Paul Higgins says subscribe to Andy. There you go. Let's have a quick look for you, Andy. Let's see what we got you up to. Up to press. Check that out, mate. 51. Woohoo! That got you up a very good few, mate. Thank you very much to all those that did. Jack says, glad you didn't move the live. Well, it was a little bit quiet early on, Jack, but at the end of the day, you're right. Everybody said, stick at it, stay where you are. So, damn right, we're going to stay where we are. And, you know, it's a big market, isn't there? There's a lot of people out there that want to watch stuff about koi channels, koi keeping and the rest of it. So each can go to wherever they decide and wherever they choose. Well, dog's going out.
You've got him well trained. Can you open the door now?
Dale says, don't worry, Gary. The way the post is going, I'll probably get it at Christmas. I've just received stuff from the UK I ordered on December the 22nd. Jesus Christ. Well, if I send it now, man, it gets there for Christmas. Merry Christmas, huh? It'll be a bonus. Something smells nice. What are you cooking? You already cooked? God damn it, I missed that again. Right, next one. Hi, this is from Reginald Tompkinson. Hi, if money was no object, would you buy, now this is quite a good question, if money was no object, would you buy fully grown koi with a price of £500 upwards or buy smaller koi priced at £70 upwards and see them grow into mature koi? Vince nearly wets himself when he sees his small koi in his fish tank. Oh, and also, would you buy Japanese, European, or English koi? There we go, Daz. I'll let you go first with that one, and then I'll have my say.
Yeah, this. See, my requirements are different probably to what yours are, big Gaz, because I've been looking at them for breeding, so I'd naturally get bigger fish, and I get Japanese fish. But if I was just doing it purely for the love of the hobby and the fish, yeah, I'd still get a big fish. If money was no object.
Yeah, if money was no object.
Of the day. Sorry?
If money was no object, that's what you go with. So if money was no object, right then. So
yeah,
and they would have to be Japanese. That's what you say if money was no object.
Well, I'd prefer Japanese. It wouldn't have to be Japanese. In fact, I'd probably have a mixture.
Yeah.
If it was for my own pleasure, yeah. But I mean, if I'm breeding fish, then you really want to get as good breeding stock as you possibly can, which really points to the Japanese.
No, right. So my opinion on that is, I would probably say, right, I have English koi in my pond. I have Japanese koi in my pond, and a few more to be added quite soon. But I also have European koi in my pond. I'm pretty sure I have an Israeli, which I know it's Israeli, and that is my platinum organ. I've got Japanese in there, and I've got my koi from Poland. So I have got all of them, and I have had all of them from what I would consider small fish. Tosai, at the age of most of them have been purchased at. But a lot of the other ones, like the Becco, for instance, that was bought as a fingerling, you know, maybe 2.5 inch, if that. And I have enjoyed watching that fish grow from being that tiny little fish, and a lot of the others that are no longer in my pond, that are in my dad's pond now, which are pushed. They're all pushing up to 40 cm, and that's in 3 years. Yes, it's not massive growth, and I know that, but it's not what I keep koi for. I don't want to grow my koi massive. I don't. One, my garden's not big enough to have massive koi, not to keep large numbers of. If I were going to keep large numbers of koi, I'd need a garden twice the size of what I've got, and a hell of a lot bigger pond. Then the more expense comes into it. But
if money was no object, you could do that.
Yeah, but I'm from Yorkshire, Daz. And it's not how we are, is it? It's not how I am. I haven't been brought up to be
Frivolous.
stupid with money. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't. I think I would have some showpieces in the pond if money were an object. I think I would have a few showpieces, but I do really enjoy watching a fish grow and watching it progress and it develop. Yeah, sometimes you buy them and they turn out to be a lot of crap and they're not what you wanted them to be, but they've served a purpose and you got the enjoyment of watching it develop. And then when it turned to a crappy Arawaki, like mine did.
Or Mutagoy.
Yeah, or a Mutagoy, yeah. It's the entertainment and the fun out of it. But yes, I really would like to have some stonking beautiful fish in there. But I would like to have some stonking beautiful fish in there that I'd grown from this as well. That to me would be more of an achievement than going out and buying. Yes, look at that. I can take that to any show and it might get a place. I prefer to get something from that sort of size and then grow it to, and then say, yeah, I grew that fish from that size, and now at this age it looks like that. So for me, I would go.
Well, then it's your fish, isn't it, Gaz? Because if you show a fish at that size, it's not your fish. It's the shop you just bought it from 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah,
your input is minimal into that fish, whereas if you've grown it
less achievement from it, isn't there? So for me, I think personally, I would rather grow on a fish, but I would rather have a couple in there that were something to look at. So you don't, it's not just looking at a shoal of tiddlers swimming around. But that's why I had it first. I just had little tiddlers, and they've grown and progressively got bigger. And now my pond needs to be made a little bigger so I can grow and progressively get them bigger. And then me and our lass are gonna have to move, so I can do it again. So yeah, that's probably what I'd do. I'd rather spend the.
When you move closer to me, so it's not so far.
No, I mean Yorkshire's a beautiful place, Daz. You move. I mean, you guys, you really want to be. It's cheaper up here, so move to Yorkshire.
I like working with Stell.
God's country. Well, actually, no, mate. You've got the perfect place to be moving to, so you really don't need to, do you? But yeah, there you go, mate. So for me, yes. Japanese fish are the dogs danglers out there. They're
the top pedigree at the end of the day.
I've got to admit, I mean, I know a lot of people probably won't agree, but I really do like my Polish koi. That to me is something else. But I like something different to everybody else. Now, it looks. Is that the? I mean, if that is, thank you very much for joining us again. Appreciate that. If that's the real gentleman, there's an appreciation for watching fish grow on. And I think a gentleman like him would have more appreciation for watching fish in his years of experience of showing and judging, watching a fish come in a toe size and then a knee size and then taking grand champion or whatever, and he's seen it progress throughout those years, would be way more interesting than watching somebody go out and buy one from a top Japanese breeder at 4 years old and bringing it in and dropping it in and saying, there you go, I've got my competition fish. I don't think there's as much satisfaction in it. So for me, I would have any, as long as the fish was healthy and of the right quality and in nice condition. As long as beauty's in the eye of the beholder for me, so I like different things to everybody else. So a little bit different. See, it's funny, isn't it? There's only two of us here in this channel, and both of us had a different answer. So there you go. I hope that answers your question, bud. Right, let's see if we can get through a few more of these comments. That is a definite. I've not got one of them. Where'd you get them from? An understanding partner, I reckon, is the number one thing to have if you're getting into the hobby. My wife couldn't give two farts about koi keeping. The only thing she's got about is how much garden she's going to lose.
Yeah.
She's not into it at all. Years ago, she went with tropicals, but I think that was only because we used to go looking around tropical fish shops and kids enjoyed it too. But with koi side of things, nah. YouTube side of things, definitely not.
Yeah. My wife's got appreciation for koi. She can appreciate the beauty of them. But as for hands-on, no, they're slimy. That's as far as it goes.
I don't think Marie would be at all. I mean, I don't even think she'd feed them from here for her away, obviously. If I said to her, you need to clean filters out and get all that fish muck and shit out, like, not on your life, son.
No.
Wait till you come back home. And she ain't touching on that. If I said, here, all this fish, she won't. No, not a chance. But it is what it is. It's my hobby. It's something I'm into. It's something.
Well, this is the other thing as well, Gaz, isn't it? If they get too interested, they might want to take over.
Exactly. Then you've got competition in your own goddamn house, and how does that go?
Yeah.
Got beat. You go to a fish show, you and your wife. I beat in the last competition. I got first. He come back with a fourth.
You'd never hear the last of it, would you?
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Quickest way to make you quit, that is.
It is. Goddamn fish. Who wants to keep fish? Just becomes your wife's hobby then, and then you just end up taking care of it all. So, what we got then? We've got Daz. You can always borrow a salt meter if you need to. There we go. It's only 5 minutes away.
Thanks, Mark.
Do you mind if I borrow it and bring it to Yorkshire? If you have a tempest in your pond, you should have a TDS tester. Steve P says, I'm colourblind, but I just get the missus to check the results. There you go, mate. See, there's always a way around it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Had some trifle.
What?
Eden Coypon says, my friend is colourblind. And he asked how he goes to the test. He reckons it's easier as they simply match the samples to the example cards. We see pink, and eyes can play tricks. He sees greys. Right, so I suppose it just goes to the different, yeah. Andy says, thanks again to all those who've subbed. Our pleasure, mate. Our pleasure. Busy Bee says, same here, guys, never use PP in a pond. Treatment scares the bejesus out of me. It does me and all. But at some point, at some time, I might have to do. But if I did, like I said, I would always do it, and I would always make sure that there was somebody else around to make sure that I was doing it and doing it right.
To be honest, Gaz, I will be very reluctant to put PP in a pond now. I used it when I first started because there wasn't really anything else out there. But now things like Alparex, in my mind, they're a lot more efficient and effective than PP, yeah. And it does a lot less damage.
It's
a lime coat off your fish.
It's a harsh chemical, isn't it? It is. Harsh. I know years ago, my dad used to use it for pigeons to have a bath in to kill parasites on them for his birds. So they used to put a little bit in bird bath. They'd all have a good bath in it, and then kill all parasites on them.
Yeah.
What's the next one we've got, Daz? Have you any topics you want to bring up this evening while I check out the next one?
I didn't. There was one I saw today on Facebook, a gentleman, and he was mentioning that he got a Becco, and he says it didn't grow. Now, is that down to bad genetics, or are Beccos naturally slow growing? Well, I says Beccos aren't normally bred by design. They're a byproduct of a Sankey spawn normally. They're sort of a white version of a squash tomato. So as they're not selectively bred, then it could be down to poor genetics. Does anyone else know any difference to that? Evening, Vince.
How you doing?
Oh, look at the state of my barnet.
So a Becco in your eyes is as much fun as a Shura Muja then?
Oh no, I quite like Beccos, but like I say, that as far as I'm aware, they're not really bred by design. They're normally just part of a Sankey spawn, and if they look half decent, they'll be grown on.
I prefer a Becco over a Sankey.
Yeah, well, you don't like Sankeys, do you?
There's the man who's just done a growing show with metallic Sankeys.
Yes.
Yeah, but
But
albeit a metallic Sankey, but it's something you don't see very often, especially in the Deutsch variety, and the quality was good.
I've never seen them before, mate. I didn't even know of.
I have seen them in books, metallic Sankeys, but never the Yamatanishki I'd not heard of.
Yeah, basically.
That's the one. Yamatanishki.
Yeah. Did I hear someone say that you need a TDS meter with a Tempest?
Yeah, well, Alan Tate did say, yeah, but I don't know why. Why do you need a TDS meter if you've got a Tempest? Let us know, Alan. Why is it that you're
Yeah, I'm intrigued on that one because I'm going to be fitting a second one to my pond when I do pass pond.
Rifle.
Yeah.
Rifle time.
There's a little.
Need a bigger spoon.
That's my next one. That's my next one. I'm going to have to be making.
Yeah. Need a bigger spoon.
Need a bigger spoon.
But I would just like to say thank you very much to yourself, Gaz, again for last night, and thank you very much for everyone else that turned up and made it such a really good evening. I was trying to find the right words there, and it just wouldn't come out for some reason.
To be completely fair, Vince, as we said, I mean, we could have really just expected maybe having 15, 20 people, 30 people, coming to watch. But at one point we were and for quite a while, we were up to.
Someone's got trifle envy.
Sorry, someone's got trifle envy in a private message. Starving. At one point, we were up to 101 people watched, which I hope it went down. Well, I've watched it. I've watched it back. Vince has watched it back, and I did think it went quite well. And it just goes to show that you can put on a grown show. I mean, obviously, you guys are going to have to go pick up the fishes and all the rest of that kind of thing. We are going to get to meet you all and see you all there. But you can put on a grown show without having to go to a venue and do it there. Yeah. If you've got some good pictures and some good photographs, it's another way you can do it, which is...
And it's less stressful for the fish.
Yes, there is that. But I tell you what, there was some surprises left over. I'm surprised that some of the fish that weren't picked weren't picked. I mean, and I think Ricky was shocked on some of the fish that weren't picked. It was like, whoa, I mean, we're going to have some fun with them.
Right. I've got a question.
Yeah.
Just the perfect time now while we got Daz mid eating, so he's going to have to go second. Get him big mouthful. Now I'm gonna read this this one out from Peter, but I'm not going to start. We're not going to go down the. You'll see. Why is it? It seems that there's so much snobbery in the hobby. There's some that won't that can spend up to 15 and 20 grand on a pond, and that most people won't spend, and you'd never get back. And now people want to grow fish. And now people won't grow fish, and how they buy, and now they just buy them. Right. So So what he's saying is, why is there so much? First question is, why is there so much snobbery in the hobby? I mean, I'm asking this question to everybody. Why do audience as well? Why do you think it is that there is an element, and I don't care what anybody says, there is an element of pond snobbery. There are.
Oh yeah, there is, and there always has been. Yeah. And you'll get that in any hobby, though. It's not just hobby.
Any walk of life, though, Vince. I don't think it necessarily means it has to be about a hobby. It can be about, it could be about a car, it could be about the house, it could be about the next designer item that they're wearing on the wrist or on their arm, or in the clothes or whatever. But
personally, for me, it's when people are looked down on because they won't spend any more than £50 on a fish, whether it be Japanese, Israeli, Swiss, or whatever. And this person here, because he won't pay less than £500 for a tosai, the person who spent 50 quid isn't good enough. That fish isn't good enough. It's shit. Yeah. But to that person who's paid 50 quid for it, it's the dog's bollocks.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's all about. Is that person that bought that fish thinks it's the dog's bollocks. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Unless you're showing your fish, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. As long as you like it, fuck the rest.
Yeah. Yeah, do it, guys.
Vince the Twisted One, the GKP at no count accepts any liability.
He's like a kid with a new toy, isn't
I get that again. I knew there was a good reason we got Vince involved in this.
he? Yeah,
I could keep banging out that one, but yeah, totally agree, mate. Totally agree. It's I've always said it. I don't like a lot of fish that a lot of people do like. I mean, me and our Brandon, we were walking around that show. Like I said before, we spotted that show. We were number one on its side. It didn't matter to me what the rest of the pattern was. That I would have loved to have taken that fish to every show from then on in and said, I'm only going to enter the one fish. I don't need to enter number one anymore. That is number one. It's one. Look, it says it on the side of it. Because every time you put that out to a judge, he'd get a laugh and a giggle out of it. And if I had a bit of fun and I enjoyed doing it, that would be my interest in it. That would be my giggle. But somebody else out there has got that fish, and you watch my words one day, I'm going to see that somewhere in a show. With that fish was nice. It was beautiful. But beauty for me is something different. I don't like all these generic patterns that are all identical in a sense. I like to see something a little quirky, a little bit different.
Yeah, I'm the same, and that's why I love the Deutsch fish, because a lot of people don't. They look down on them, but I love the Deutsch fish.
Yeah, me too, man.
I've got my preferences when it comes to Deutsch fish. You know, I'm not a lover of big armored scales. I like a real nice, clean, smooth Deutsch fish with just a few scales underneath the dorsal.
Oh, I love
that ticks all the boxes for me. So.
A nice zip down the lateral line.
But then saying that, the karate guy that Ricky sent me the other day that he harvested,
that was a perfect example.
The armored scaling on them was just the symmetricality. The symmetry of them was just unreal, and the bodies on them. Oh my lord, I can't wait to see them this summer.
They've got to be, for me, that they've got to have symmetry. It's no good. It's all jumbled up. It looks a mess.
Yeah. So, right, to divert back to where we were.
Yeah.
Do you guys think you need to spend 15 to 20 grand on a pond?
No.
It would be really nice, don't get me wrong. I would love somebody to, but if I were going to do it, I'd be like, if I were going to spend 15, 20 grand on a pond, no way on this earth that my ass is getting out there doing it. I'm going, here, it's 20 grand. Make me a damn
you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, I won't. If I was spending that money, I won't be touching it.
I would want to be spending more than about 5k maximum on a pond.
No, I wouldn't. If I were doing it myself, I wouldn't want to be spending more than 5k. If I were
I'd love to own 5k.
I would not. Never ever spend 15, 20 grand.
No.
I'd rather put, if I were going to do it, if I were going to spend 15 grand, I'd rather put 5 grand in each one of my kids' bank account than put it in a pond. If I were going to spend 20 grand, I'd rather split that 2 ways and put 10 grand a piece into my grandson's bank account. That to me would be a lot more beneficial than sticking it in a garden pond. That's just my priorities. That's where mine would lay. But if I did, money was no object, let's say, if I did spend 20 grand on a garden pond, you better make sure that you build me a damn nice pond, because what I do for a living, I'll be pulling your work to pieces. So
if money was no object, I still wouldn't go and opt for a drum, because then I've got absolutely nothing to do other than like the fry and stuff that will always keep me occupied. But when it comes to the main pond, you know, I get enjoyment out of watching that thing clean. It's twisted, you know, but whether it be an Easy Pod or a Nexus, you know, there is some twisted enjoyment out of watching all that shit coming out into that water, going from clear to absolute black in matter of seconds, and you think, fucking glad I'm getting that out. You know,
I mean-
and there's whether, and I got multi-bay as well, and you know, I turned everything into easy pods so I didn't have to get my fucking hands wet. But you know, I'm doing that one in such a way, whereas hopefully I shouldn't have to get my hands wet with the way that I'm set up for cleaning and everything. But again, multi-bays, they're a brilliant filter if they're run right.
Whilst
Yeah.
we've got you on that one, then, but you're talking about your multi-bays and such, Cheeky Guy has asked, what's the best media to use? Because that's talking, you know, we're talking about filter systems again. So what is the best media to use? In your
Again,
opinion?
I would say
again,
Jack Mackin.
that is subjective, because as long as you've got a decent mechanical section right at the start, it shouldn't matter what you use as your bio, whether it be submerged ceramic media, active K1, or jack matting, because as long as you've stopped that main bulk of the proper physical shit, then the bio is going to have no problem to do what it needs to do. Can you see what I mean? So it's really personal preference. I mean, in mine, I've got the Vortex, then I've got the brushes, then I haven't got them in at the moment because the air pump's still running the fish tank, but then I will have an active K1 chamber, and then the last chamber.
What's this? Almost as if Alan predicted that for you. I would put a Vortex, brushes, K1.
Yeah.
And then in the last chamber, I've got static alpha grog with colour lilies in them.
Yeah.
Which
And then you got
once the summer comes in, they go ape shit, and well, that they proved how good they were on the front pond last year.
Yeah, keeps your nitrates down.
You know, the one pond that I had in my garden or gardens that I wanted green, and it was the only pond that wouldn't go green. You know, I had more green going on in the main pond, which is out of the sun, than I did in that front pond. And that front pond was run purely through them plant filters on airlifts.
Yeah.
Evening, Righty. Thanks for joining us, bud. I know you've been in a while. Just got to your comment. He was pretty impressed with your fish last night, Vince, wasn't he?
Yeah,
like all of them.
But if memory serves right, Terry's quite partial to a Deutsch fish anyway.
Yeah.
So the last part of Peter's question then is, people won't grow fish. I think he's meaning that people now go out and buy bigger fish. They don't necessarily want to buy small stuff and grow them on anymore.
Don't get me wrong. I could appreciate a finished fish, but I think a majority of the keepers out there actually enjoy watching the progress of the fish changing as they grow from toe side through to yon side and sand side and so forth and so on. And that's where I get most of my enjoyment is out of that first 3 years, where you can get the most out of the fish's potential if they're treated right. And that's where you get a lot of your development and this sort of thing, that you can then pick up on certain things, especially when you've got a lot of them and you've got a lot of the same one. You can then start to see the differences in the like the body shapes, because they're all the same variety. You then start to notice things that you start to notice things that aren't quite right, and that helps as well. That's why you shaved it so close, wasn't it? Just to ride the grey.
On video call when I said I just can't get rid of it all, mate, because it looks less grey, but it just looks like skin.
So you've not been sanding today, then?
No, believe it or not, today, mate. You know what? My job was pretty ridiculous today. I did tell you, didn't I? That site manager had to go through today was ridiculous. He had somebody go around his buildings, checked them all, inspected them all. And then when he went round them all, instead of just saying, right, there's 10 jobs in this one, and that one, and that one, he just genetically copied the whole thing across all 4 properties. So we had to go through them all and check them all to see if they were there to put them right. And they weren't. So it were a pain in the ass. I had to go check so many different jobs. And the site manager were like, God damn, he's just like on this one. And he's like, yeah. So he were a bit frustrated by it. I thought this is pretty cool. Easy day's work, but
Yeah. As Dire Straits would say, money for nothing.
well, that's it. It was, but I mean, he knew I were there if we needed it. If it had been there, it were going to get put right. And we did put some right, but it's still frustrating when people don't or can't be asked to do the job properly. Mike says, small Japanese koi all the way for Mick, should I say?
Yeah.
Jake said, if money was no object, I would have koi in my pond. I would have koi in my pond, I would have a jet ski. I wouldn't have.
He's Welsh. Makes no sense.
In your pond. Hertz Kwai says, I've got a question. If you own Japanese koi and you breed them, don't the fry come to be English koi?
Yeah,
as their work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
With Japanese parents.
Yeah.
Same as, I guess is where you bought, isn't it?
Yeah.
Busy Bee says, I love seeing them grow. There you go. I do too.
Oh, yes.
Sneaker Out says, I like to see them grow.
That's a lot of the enjoyment, though.
Yeah.
But the Japanese are holding on to the female fish. Even Ricky said on their talk tonight, 95% of the fish are males.
Hit it, Gaz. You gotta hit it. I'm sorry. I call.
Now that's what I call bullshit statement of the week.
Are we on it? Well, if that was the case, how is there so many female fish over here from Japan?
Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got at least 3, 4 female Japanese fish, and they were all bought Tosai.
Yeah.
It
So,
might
yeah,
be the case that a lot of the stuff that's coming out now, at present, is male fish.
maybe what he's talking about is the higher quality,
I think
as in
so. Yeah.
the
bigger
higher
fish.
top end quality. You're probably finding you're having more males coming across, because obviously if they're of a really, really high quality and they're female, they're going to want to keep them themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're going
fish.
they're going to end up getting more money themselves over there from another breeder or whatever than they ever will sending it across here. So that's why I think it's more the higher end that they're talking about on that respect.
Yeah.
So we give it bullshit statement away for now then. God damn it.
Well, it needed using.
It's always good
Not
fun,
used
isn't it?
it for a while.
Not used it for a bit. Simon Shears is here. He says, my koi are English. My koi are English koi. Got the certificates to prove it.
Yeah. It should be stamped underneath them, made in the UK.
Now then, is that true, or is that? Is that true, Simon? Huh? Who knows? I mean, you know, mate. You are our specialist. You actually have your own official role now, mate. So just in case you couldn't see that for the partial writing that was over the top of it, I'll let you see it again. Let us know. Is it true? Or is it a conspiracy? Where's this comment gone?
Just gives me a chuckle.
I have just skipped through loads there, past shit tons of them. Well said, Vincent. It's not as bad as it used to be, Carlos says. And I'm guessing that's with the snobbery.
Talking about snobbery, no. It's not as bad as it was like 10 years ago. It was really, really bad, you know. I mean,
Well, I wouldn't say that as of yet. Up to, I mean, I know I've said that, I've talked about this many a time. Like when I've been to the shows, everybody that I spoke to there, you know, you can see guys around in the groups and having the conversations, but they're having the private conversations. But if you get some of them one-to-one on their own, from my experience and Brandon's experience, man, then guys, they'll talk all day. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It were really, really interesting. It were really, really good to watch. It's not so much. Right, he says the snobs don't like mixing with us poor people.
Yeah, there's that too, mate.
There's unfortunately in life, there's always going to be an element of class. There's always going to be those that think they're in a class above you. But let's face it, guys, right? No matter where you come from or who you are, your shit stinks just like mine. It
And
don't
so
come
does
out
your
with
fishes.
little red bows on it. It comes out just the same. So we're all cut from the same cloth. Just because you got a bit more cash in your ass pocket, don't make you a better man than me. And that's all you need to remember. At the end of the day, we're all built equal. It's what you choose to do with your life takes you where you're going and how you choose to act within it.
Yeah, we all bleed the same.
We do. Like Dave says there, my Deutsch shower girls. That's lovely. Exactly, mate. But
Yeah.
to some people, they might not like that Dave because they might not like Deutsch, but they might like it if it were a scale version and prefer it where what. That's what I mean. It's all about the individual, isn't it? It's all
For
about
me,
everybody else.
scaled shower every day, all day long over a Deutsch one.
Oh no.
Deutsch.
Yeah.
I love Deutsch showers.
I do like a Deutsch fish. To me,
Yeah.
a Deutsch fish, then the patterns on it, it just looks sharper. The lines
It's the
look.
definition.
You-
They look
you
like
ain't got that
plastic. They don't look real.
Down the
They
scales
look
kind of look. It
fantastic.
just looks like it's been hand painted on.
Yeah.
Now there
Yeah,
are
but
some
again, you're talking about a quality thing as well, because if you're getting the
Yeah.
lower end ones, you know, I've seen a lot of Benny
yeah.
just disappear off of a fish, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, when it comes to the Deutsch Go Sankey, then you if you want to keep something for some longevity, then you are gonna have to save a little bit of money and go for something of a decent quality if you
Yeah.
want it to last a long period of time.
Yeah.
Business reply back to right there it is, right. LOL. It's not that they don't like mixing, there's nothing in it for them. Maybe. Yeah.
Could be.
Carlos says best thing to do is to take it with a pinch of salt and feck them. Sneak about, sneaking. Always sneaks in with his comments. You're right there, busy with a thumbs up. I think I've seen it from both sides. I have experienced it, but I think sometimes if you can break down those barriers, most people can realize that they've got something that they have in common and they can find a common interest in. But very rarely will you get somebody talking to someone if they don't think, you know, they're going to get a decent conversation out of them. So, yeah, it can be a bit both ways, can't it?
Someone made a comment to me the other day, and we was actually just chatting, and he actually turned around and said to me, "But you shout out so many channels with only a few subscribers," and I'm like, well, yeah, what's wrong with that? You know, the way I look at it is, the more I can encourage and get more people that are in what I would call a normal walk of life, then maybe it will do the hobby a good, because one, it'll be an injection of new people coming into the hobby, but it'll also help in the long term, I hope, to help bring down some barriers, because, you know, the equilibrium, you know, should be like this when it comes to the hobby, you know, whether you've got money or you haven't, because at the end of the day, we all love the same fucking fish.
Yeah.
You know, so why does there have to be a divide?
Well, the thing is, though, if you put too much of a divide in there, when people go into these shows, it's the everyday commoner people that are going to look at these fish that these people are showing. Now, if it weren't for us coming to have a look at them, who are you showing them to?
Yeah.
Yourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's the everyday common folk that are buying the toe sign and the lower end fish that makes the show worth putting on. I mean, that's the whole thing. a lot of it's not just about looking at fish as a show. It's about the sales as well.
Well, it's not so much that as well, but when you look at it from another point of view, you know, there needs to, personally, I think if this hobby is going to continue and if it's going to get better and bigger and so forth and so on, we as a community need to do more. I'm not just talking about YouTubers, I'm talking about koi keepers, dealers, the lot. Need to do more to try and encourage the younger generation in, because if we don't encourage the younger generation in, it's going to fucking fizzle out and die, or it'll end up like it used to be, where it was the old gentleman's club.
Yeah. Again, well, you got to wait for somebody to pot the clogs before you can get your feet under the table and get in on it.
Yeah.
Can you see what I mean?
To do that kind of thing nowadays, the younger generation just ain't going to wait.
You know, but it's not just getting them interested. It's getting that passion burning in them. Because if you can get that little bit of passion burning in them, then it will become something bigger. But if we're not, and this is one of my arguments about koi shows. You know, there was nothing at the National last year for children. Whether it be to keep them entertained for a half hour while the parents went and walked around the show, or actually trying to get the kids that are walking around involved in what's going on. Can you see what I mean? To the fact that there was something at the All England in the form of an air bouncy castle and stuff. So the Southeast are actually thinking of the kids that are going there as well, but it's not just keeping them occupied, it's trying to get them clicking up here, because if we can get them engaged, then there's more chance that they're going to become engrossed in it.
But what's the biggest introduction to koi? It's fishing, isn't it? That's when kids first get used to it. The kids catch the first fish, they get used to handling the slimy fish or whatever, and that contact that gets them used to fish, and then they warm to it, and later on in life, normally when they get their own house or whatever, they want to pond.
See, I told you Terry loves a Deutsch fish.
There we go. Dino says Deutsch koi, best type of koi. I've got to admit, probably one of my most favourites. I would have said.
Yeah, and mine.
That, or if I were going for a koi, if it wasn't Deutsch, I prefer a bit of Ginring on it, or a Ginring. I do like it. I mean, god damn that show! That wicked that fish was. So nice. It was so nice, that fish. It was beautiful.
Dino loves anything red.
Brighty says back to Dino, because Dino just said, I'm 37-year-old and I've not got a grey hair on my head. You know, I'm 47, mate, and I've got your share as well by the look of it. Righty says, I'm 70 and all grey. I'm 37, mate, and I'm not far off it, bud. But it is what it is, isn't it? Kerry Coy says, evening, busy bee. And you did say hi earlier on, mate. Sorry, I did skip through a fair few, so I apologise, mate. Welcome to the show.
Evening, Brett.
Jeff Lee says, I'm 65 and I have no hair.
Yeah, but I bet you love a DISCO.
Younger than you, mate, that's got no hair. Jack's just been on earlier, and he's what? 30-some-year-old, and he's completely bald as well, so.
Yeah.
DT says, I'm 29, not a single grey hair in sight.
You wait till your kids get fucking older, boy.
Wait till you finish that bloody 17-mile walk.
Jessica says, I have no grey hair. I dye mine. I go natural. As somebody I spoke with about this the other day, and they're like, could you be asked dyeing your hair? No.
No.
I don't think I could. I couldn't be asked at all.
Not for a man, because if you have it cut short, you'd be dyeing it every 2 days, wouldn't you? Mine grows.
Skeggy's calling out the conspiracies there. Most certificates are sent over blank, but the breeder are filled in by the breeder.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Notice a lot of dealers create their own certificates, branded, etc. All branded, etc. Carl Roberts says, "Evening, lads. Just like to say thank you for the help last week about the fish laying on the sides. It wasn't the temp, it was flukes. There you go. See, put the treatment in, so fingers crossed I don't lose any."
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Nice to know you're getting on top of it, mate. Fingers crossed. You know what to do when you've give it a fortnight, check them again, give them another scrape, and if you've got, go again.
Yep.
Simon Shears, Skegster, most dealers haven't got those certificates, i.e. Elite Koi comes from Elite Koi certificates. I can make English certificates. Is that again?
Hey, I've got a Japanese koi with an English certificate because the Hodgkin shower that Simon up North Koi Pond gave me, he actually made it a little certificate for me. Brought it down with the fish.
There we go. Phil Walker says, well, what can I say? I'm 75, still working, but I enjoy the koi hobby and buying koi to what I can afford.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it.
We buy what's within our budget,
in a nutshell,
and we buy what we like, and we like what we like. And that's it, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Daz can do certificates with trifle on the paperwork. Gary Coy says, "Evening, guys, Daz and Vince with thumbs up." There you go, mate. I didn't pass it. Well, either I did if you put it up further on, and I did go past. We've got absolutely, Eden. I'm pretty sure it's higher class than all of you. I would have thought that was obvious. I'm pretty sure I'm higher class. Yeah, mate, 100%. 100%.
No comment, Your Honour.
Okay, just checking for a minute. I thought we were in denial. Busy bee with the swear alert. Does everybody think to the new jokey? Do you think we should make some more? Let me know.
Oh, definitely.
If everybody else wants to put in some comments what you think you might want, if you want your own little alert put in, let me know.
We should have a trifle alert, definitely.
Trifle alert, don't you worry, mate. That will come in here. I'm just running out
I
of time.
told you, they're more like the old school disco jingles.
You were getting one tonight, but you said, Cass, you hadn't sent us a link, and by that time we're running upstairs to go to the bathroom, come back down, and then I made that 3-minute cup of tea or coffee. So yeah, I ran out of time, mate. You were going to get one this evening. Would have been getting used right now, but we will get one in.
I thought I was bad.
Ross, it says, once again, great night, very interesting, with a thumbs up. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it. Make more, LOL. Make me one, Gaz. There we go. DT. Challenge accepted.
That's it.
Jamie from Keeping Koi says, I've got a shoot. Got a shoot. Night, guys. Great night with a thumbs up. Thanks very much for joining us, Jamie.
Cheers, Jamie.
Don't go falling down that deep crevasse that you've created in the garden, mate, because the thumbnail, mate, you're going to be a mess.
They'd never find you.
One down in your garden.
It'd be 2 weeks before you get found.
Yeah, he's taller than you are.
Yeah. That's not hard. It's taller than you.
Eden Coy says, I'd like to have a higher class alert. As I enter the chat, it can be played. I suggest a national anthem as a backing track. Might get monetized for that, but I'll work on something. You watch. You might not like what you get. Night, Jamie. Night, Jamie from Kerry Coy. Simon Greenhegg says, what material liner is best for sticking to windows?
Rubber.
Butyl, yeah.
Butyl, is it?
Butyl liner. The woven liners, unless you're actually going to glue the liner in the frame and then glue the window into the liner, then if you're just going to stick the liner to the window, it's got to be butyl rubber, because otherwise, whatever silicone you use, it will not adhere. Well, it will for a little while, and then it will just peel away.
Yeah.
I used to go out with a redhead. No hair, just redhead. Dear. I hope that was supposed to be funny. Sorry if I laughed if it wasn't. MJH Koi says, I just want to say a big thanks to all the subscribers who've subscribed to my channel, and thank you very much. Have we? Let's tell you what, mate. Let's drop you a little thingy-bob. There we go.
I do that.
Well, where's it gone? It's above that one. No, wise MJH Koi.
Let me have a look.
It's not
Can't you
there.
find it?
Yeah, it's
Is it eluding you, young Padawan?
right. Well, Phil's is there, so it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above. So Phil's is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above. It's not there.
MJH Koi. I've got it.
Yeah, but I've not got it. Is MJH Koi? Has nobody been able to see MJH Koi's post all night in the comments?
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it. Yeah.
MJH Koi, do us a favour, just type in hi with a thumbs up.
He's just got another
Your PC playing silly buggers again.
No, well, on my monitor, it's not coming up. His comment's not coming up. It's coming on. It's coming up here in StreamYard, but it's not coming up on the live feed to YouTube. Yeah, yeah, they've been there.
Yeah.
I just must have been random. That one's not shown for me on this screen then. Right. Well, there you go. There's your link. If you could do me a huge favour, can we all have a quick swing round to MJH Koi's? That's right, MJH Koi, and give him a sub.
Don't forget Andy's koi puddle.
I've done Andy's koi puddle. Yeah, we've already stuck in one in. Thank you very much, Dave, for sticking that link in there. You are present, mate. You're on 19 subscribers, and I've just given you another one, so that makes you now.
Yeah, me too.
21 and rising, mate. Hope for fingers crossed you get a few more, bud. Try to see if we can get a couple more of these smaller little channels coming up so that we can get their content watched and enjoy some more.
Well, he's going to have plenty of content too because he's a member of the Amateur Initiative Ground Show.
Will be one of the places where we'll be able to go and have a look at your fish and see how it's progressing, mate.
Oh yes.
Thank you very much, Dave. Appreciate that. And now you just need to train the rest of them to tell them how to do that, mate. I shall leave that within your capable hands. Good luck, because it's hard work.
No comment.
We've got a just sub there from Amanda Smith. We've got a just sub there from Tony. No knob, mate. Bit personal, right?
Oh my word.
I've just subbed. Thanks again, Vince, Gaz, Daz, for boosting mine tonight. My pleasure, mate. My pleasure.
Anytime, buddy.
Welcome.
Those that don't know, Andy's koi puddle was formerly known as Andy ...
We got the last one there, which was why am I not getting the channels coming up? Oh, it's there. Right, let's go to this one as well. We'll go to this one and we'll share this one for Farmer Koi as well. We'll get him. At present, he is on 175. And we shall stick that one in there.
Oh, raising fry. Yeah, subscribe.
There you go. We've got yours on there, mate. I shall give you a sub as well, but I have got loads of channels to watch and catch up on. So
you and me both. I've been so fixated on getting long block done that I haven't been watching me YouTube channel. So I'm going to have a day tomorrow, I think, just chilling. because
The problem
not.
is, the time you've
I
watched
can't
all
do
the
much on
Vince's
the-
channels, videos, is there's no time left.
Yeah.
You watch about 10 out a week.
No, let's not exaggerate.
Sorry, 9.
If you watch all the Vinces, there is no time left for the rest of the week, is there? There's no time to watch like 5 videos a week, man. Right, he says, Gas, you missed the comment from Dave. Dave put him to make me miss. Can you give my channel a shout out? Feel a bit left out here. No, mate. There, now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Right. Well, ladies and gents, we have had a very good laugh and a good giggle this evening. I've appreciated everybody for coming and sticking with us. It's far more than what I expected, to be completely honest. But this evening, I have to fend for myself, and I have to go out there and make something in the wildness that is the kitchen for my evening meal. I haven't eaten. So, yeah, no, I've nailed on pizzas, mate, because I've had them all week. So, if you could do us a huge favour, folks, we're going to be wrapping it up and bringing it to an end this evening. Do us a huge, massive favour. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And until next time, I'm sneaking off. I'm sneaking off. Night, all. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining this evening, and we'll see you on the next one, which will be next Thursday night. There won't be a Wednesday night, as that was just a one-off special, and we will be back with you all again next Thursday. Thanks very much.
Keep smiling.
Yeah, thanks for staying with us.
Usual thing. Keep smiling, guys. Catch you all later. Good night, all.
Night.